Michelle Trachtenberg's passing sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and among fans around the world. Known for her memorable performances in beloved television series like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Gossip Girl, Trachtenberg was more than just a talented actress. She was a beacon of resilience, navigating the complexities of fame, personal health challenges, and public scrutiny from a young age. On February 26, 2025, the world was stunned to learn of her sudden and tragic death at the age of 39. The news broke early in the morning, when authorities confirmed that Michelle had been found unresponsive in her New York City apartment by a family member. Despite the swift arrival of emergency services, she was pronounced dead at the scene. Initially, there was considerable speculation surrounding the circumstances of her death. As is often the case with public figures, the absence of immediate details led to rampant rumors and misinformation. Some speculated about substance use, while others raised questions about possible mental health struggles. For a brief period, the cause of death remained undetermined, primarily due to her family's decision to decline an autopsy, citing religious and personal reasons. This decision, while entirely within the family's rights, created an atmosphere of mystery and prompted even more public curiosity. However, after weeks of toxicology testing and careful medical review, the official cause of death was eventually revealed: complications related to diabetes mellitus. This confirmation shocked many who were unaware that Trachtenberg had been privately battling the chronic condition. Her death was ultimately ruled as natural, the result of untreated or poorly managed diabetes that had quietly advanced until it became fatal. The revelation that diabetes was responsible sparked a new wave of conversation, not just about Michelle's life, but also about the realities of living with chronic illnesses while under the spotlight. In the entertainment industry, where appearances are scrutinized and health challenges are often concealed to maintain roles or reputations, many stars are forced to manage serious conditions privately. Michelle's case underscored the dangers of this secrecy and how silent suffering can have tragic consequences. While Michelle had not publicly spoken much about diabetes, some fans and observers noted that she had looked noticeably different in recent public appearances. On social media, particularly Instagram, some followers commented on her weight fluctuations and apparent fatigue. In a now famous reply to a concerned fan, Michelle assured her followers that she was happy and healthy, offering a rare glimpse into her private efforts to maintain a positive image. Behind the scenes, however, those close to her were reportedly aware of her health battles. It was revealed later that Michelle had undergone a liver transplant a few years before her death, a major medical procedure that carries a host of risks and complications. Experts suggested that her death may have been the result of a condition known as new-onset diabetes after transplant, or NODAT, a common consequence in organ transplant patients who are required to take immunosuppressive medications. These drugs, while essential to prevent organ rejection, can cause significant disruptions in the body's metabolic processes, including insulin regulation. Approximately 30% of transplant recipients develop diabetes post-surgery, and if not carefully managed, it can become life-threatening. This added layer of complexity to her story, painting a picture of a woman quietly grappling with immense physical challenges while continuing to work and live in the public eye. Her professional commitments had indeed slowed in recent years, which some attributed to personal choice, burnout, or simply the natural ebb and flow of an acting career. In reality, it now appears that her health struggles played a far more significant role in her retreat from the spotlight. Despite fewer on-screen appearances, Michelle had been creatively active behind the scenes. She was deeply involved in a screenplay adaptation of Jerry Oppenheimer's investigative book, Toy Monster: The Big Bad World of Mattel. According to friends and colleagues, Michelle had been passionate about the project and was collaborating with director Casey Thibault, who was reportedly impressed with her writing talents. Thibault later vowed to honor her memory by pushing forward with the production of the film, stating that Michelle's vision deserved to be realized. This revelation painted a portrait of an artist not only committed to her craft, but also determined to evolve beyond acting into storytelling and production. As the industry mourned, tributes poured in from peers, collaborators, and fans. Sarah, Michelle Gellar, who played Buffy Summers alongside Michelle's Dawn in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, posted a deeply emotional message on social media. She recalled Michelle's warmth, intelligence, and wit, and described the pain of losing someone she considered family. Allison Hannigan, another Buffy alum, shared similar sentiments, highlighting Michelle's youthful energy and the bond they shared during long days on set. James Marsters, who portrayed Spike, remembered Michelle as a professional and deeply kind person, whose strength was evident even during the show's most grueling production schedules. Outside of the Buffyverse, Rosie O'Donnell, who had mentored Michelle during her early career and worked with her on several projects, posted a heartfelt video message expressing her grief and reminiscing about Michelle's tenacity as a young actress. These tributes revealed a woman deeply respected and cherished by those who had known her personally and professionally. Michelle's passing also resonated with fans of Gossip Girl, where she had portrayed the chaotic and cunning Georgina Sparks, a role she had reprised in the reboot series just a year before her death. Her return had been widely celebrated by fans, many of whom praised her timeless ability to steal a scene. While her character was often controversial, Michelle played Georgina with a gleeful edge that made her unforgettable. To fans of the show, her death felt like the sudden end of a vibrant, familiar presence in a cultural touchstone that defined a generation. The fan base responded with tributes, artwork, video montages, and heartfelt messages that flooded social media platforms. It was a striking reminder of how deeply Michelle had impacted people's lives through her work. Born in New York City on October 11, 1985, Michelle Trachtenberg was the younger of two daughters in a Russian Jewish family. She began acting at a very young age, appearing in her first commercial at just 3 years old. She quickly gained recognition for her talent and charm, leading to early roles on popular shows like The Adventures of Pete and Pete on Nickelodeon. Her breakout role came in 1996 with Harriet the Spy, a film that not only established her as a capable young actress, but also as a relatable presence for many young viewers. That success was followed by a series of film and television roles throughout the late 1990s and early 2000s, including appearances in Inspector Gadget, 17 Again, and Ice Princess, the latter of which earned her critical praise for portraying a figure skater balancing her athletic dreams and academic pressures. Her most iconic role, however, came in 2000 when she joined the cast of Buffy the Vampire Slayer as Buffy's younger sister, Dawn. The introduction of her character midway through the series was met with initial skepticism by fans, but quickly became a core part of the show's narrative. Michelle's performance was both emotionally resonant and grounded, adding layers of vulnerability and strength to a series that was already known for its complex characters. For many, Dawn represented a younger sibling trying to find her identity, in a world filled with chaos, magic, and loss, an experience that resonated beyond the show's supernatural trappings. The role solidified Michelle's standing as a formidable actress capable of carrying emotional depth and narrative significance. Despite her early success, Michelle's career never followed the typical Hollywood trajectory. She carefully selected roles, appeared intermittently in guest spots, and eventually shifted focus away from acting to explore other creative avenues. This deliberate pace allowed her to avoid many of the pitfalls that child stars face, but it also meant that she was frequently misunderstood or underestimated. In interviews, she spoke candidly about wanting to control her career on her own terms and maintain a private life. In many ways, Michelle embodied the ideal of the artist who values authenticity over fame, craft over celebrity. In the wake of her death, renewed attention has been placed on the challenges of managing chronic illnesses like diabetes, particularly among young adults. Diabetes, while manageable with proper care, can become life-threatening if neglected. Factors such as stress, irregular schedules, poor diet, and medication interactions can accelerate the condition's complications. In Michelle's case, her prior liver transplant further complicated her health profile, making it imperative to monitor and manage her condition with diligence. Medical professionals have used her story as a case study to highlight the importance of early detection, regular checkups, and public awareness about symptoms and treatment options. Health advocacy groups have even begun launching awareness campaigns inspired by Michelle's story, aiming to destigmatize chronic illness and encourage proactive medical care among at-risk populations. Michelle Trachtenberg's legacy extends beyond her filmography. She was a symbol of perseverance, intelligence, and creativity. In her personal life, she was known to be fiercely loyal to her family and friends. She maintained a close relationship with her parents and long-term partner Jay Cohen, a respected talent agent. Friends described her as a private person who cared deeply for animals, social justice, and mentorship of younger actors navigating the industry. While she avoided the trappings of Hollywood stardom, she remained deeply connected to her craft, always looking for ways to challenge herself and tell stories that mattered. As the industry reflects on her life and contributions, there is a collective sense of loss, not just for the talent that Michelle Trachtenberg embodied, but for the stories she never got the chance to tell. Her passing serves as a sobering reminder of how even those who seem strong, composed, and successful may be waging battles invisible to the public eye. It calls upon fans, colleagues, and society at large to treat others with more compassion, less judgment, and greater awareness of the quiet struggles that may lie beneath the surface. Her story will live on, not just in reruns or film credits, but in the hearts of all who admired her journey from precocious child star to mature, multifaceted artist. Michelle Trachtenberg's light, though extinguished far too soon, continues to shine through the countless lives she touched, the roles she immortalized, and the legacy she leaves behind.